we're bringing in 50 to 100 plus women a day into our group. If I could grow my group to 42,000, grow my email list to 15,000, and turn my group into six-figure business, posting in other people's groups absolutely works. And I thought, oh my God, I struggled for 3 years trying to figure this out. Why couldn't someone just show me these 3 steps? It would have saved me a lot of time and I would have made money a lot faster.
If you want to build a legitimate, profitable online business without shiny objects, without the hypey gimmicks, and without the stress and overwhelm, if you want to make more money without having to be present online all day, every day, pumping out content that nobody sees and hustling DMs to generate leads and sales, then this is the place for you. Welcome to the Digital Trailblazer Podcast, your online business university, where you'll learn how ordinary people start from ground zero with no influence, no email list or audience to sell to, and no business or marketing experience, and go from working 9-to-5 jobs to building successful 6- and 7-figure online businesses and all the steps in between. Learn the strategies that worked and what didn't. Learn the mistakes that they made and how to avoid them, and then learn their plans for scaling their businesses and taking things to the next level. All so that you can build your business faster and easier and make more money without sacrificing the things that are important to you in your life. I'm your host, Leah Ray Getz, and with me is my husband, Todd. Now, let's get to it with today's guest. Welcome, everybody. This is Leah Ray, and I'm so excited to have with us Julie Vance. Julie, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Julie Vance, as you said, and I am a business coach, a course creator. I am also the founder of Profitable Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group that I've grown to over 42,000 and really highly engaged group. And so I teach women how to grow a Facebook group fast and how to turn it into a profitable business.
So how long did it take you when you really got serious? Like 41,000 members in how long? What did that really break down to?
Well, really it broke down to 4 years. The first 3 years, I was trying everything, right? Throwing things at the wall, see what would stick. I knew Facebook groups were all the rage. Having a community of people that get to know you, see you as the leader of the group, right? And I was doing everything all the gurus told me to do, friend request, 20 people a day, invite them to your group. That was painful. Took me 3 years to get to 1,181 members. And I didn't like it so much because it was time consuming and people didn't really like it because you're just friending them with an agenda, right? I call it fake friending with an agenda. And then you're going in, invite them to your group. And then one day I said, oh, heck with this. I'm going to get lazy. And I just invited a whole bunch of people and some people came and, they weren't always the best fit, right? And some of them got angry, like, oh, you don't even know me, right? But then I said, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. This is dumb. And so I just really, January 2022, I really got super focused on growing my group and learning everything about Facebook groups. I took lots of courses and studying everything about it. I did not venture to anything else but growing my group and growing my email list. And it took off from January 2022, 1,181 members to now we're about to hit 42,000 women entrepreneurs. So, just a little more than a year and a half. So pretty insane. It still blows my mind that it went that fast considering what I went through the first 3 years.
Right. So was that paid traffic that you used to fill?
Actually, no. That's the cool thing about it. It's all organic. I have run paid traffic before to lead magnets and paid offers, but I wanted to learn organic strategies because organic was just blowing up last year. Yeah. And I thought, okay, I want to really get good at organic because not everybody wants to learn ads and they're scared of ads and it's kind of another level for people. So I decided, okay, I'm going to learn everything about organic strategies. And so I really studied how to grow my group organically using other people's audiences, using other people's Facebook groups and driving those people into my group, into my email list. And it just skyrocketed. I think by June, so in 6 months, I was already at 12,000 members. And these are my ideal clients, majority of the women entrepreneurs. Right. So it amazes me how fast it just blew up.
That's nuts, because we have like just shy of 10,000 in our group. And I'm like, feeling proud. Like that's a good number for a group, but that was absolutely paid. Like most of that started somehow through paid traffic, probably 80% or something. So that is really impressive, being able to do that with organic strategies. Now, okay, so you're like the queen of organic Facebook groups growth at this point, but how did you get started? Like, what was the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey?
So how I got started, I really came from the network marketing industry back, I don't know, 2017, hired mentors, spent a lot of money, right? Learning all about it. It wasn't easy at first, doing home parties. That's what my mentor said. And then eventually nobody else wanted to come, right? You do all this work, you clean your house, invite people, and then it's like, oh, I can't come, right? And so it worked good the first couple times, but after that, I was like, okay, I don't have a business anymore. I need to get online. And so I found an ad about attraction marketing, and I went, oh my God, this is amazing. I've never heard of anything like this, where you learn some marketing strategies and you invite people to essentially join that affiliate offer, and they learn marketing strategies to grow their network marketing business. And at the same time, I was growing mine. And what blew my mind about it was people would come into that, they would sign up, I would make a commission for it, I would help them. And then many of those people, those women, end up joining me in my network marketing business. And I went, oh my God, this is amazing, right? And so I built it like that for a while, and I ended up changing companies like many people do. And then started growing a great team, and then it all fell apart. And I just said, so much energy put into this. I mean, I love it. I'll just keep using the products. I think I've learned so many marketing skills. I think I should start creating my own programs and courses. I can teach people a lot, provide a lot of value, help a lot of women. And so that's what I decided to do, start creating my own courses and programs. But it was a long haul. It was, I really had to figure out that network marketing was a great stepping stone for me to learn a lot of skills, but it wasn't something that, I was excited about anymore. And so when I started creating my own products and courses, I went, oh my God, because they were based on stuff that I was doing in my business that was working really, really well. And so I wasn't just putting out courses and hoping that, it might work. These were things that I was already doing in my business. Like, I don't believe in putting stuff out there I've never done, and I will never sell a strategy I've never used. So I have to be using it in the trenches, right? And that was the thing about some of the mentors that I signed up with in the past. They hire people, right, to help you. It's not them. You're not working with them, right? They hire people, but they've never built a business, or they never built a network marketing team. And I'm like, wait a minute, right? And I felt like a disconnect there in some of the training that was out there. And I thought, I am not going to do that. I'm going to make sure that when I teach people, it's going to be what I'm doing in the trenches, what works, right? And that I can actually help people.
That is so true and so powerful. And our stories mirror each other a lot. So we had a very similar beginning, learned attraction marketing, took off with all of that, and then eventually moved into our own programs. And it started with just teaching exactly what we were doing to build our affiliate network marketing companies way back when. And so it's a great place to start from. And I think it's really important, especially with people talking about, well, create an AI course. And it's like, you got to be authentic. Like, you really need to be the expert in what you say you can do. I've seen people brand themselves, come to us for help, or sign up for a free training or do something, and they're like, make $1 million in 90 days. And I'm like, have you done that? Well, no, I haven't made any money yet, but I'm confident that this strategy is gonna. I'm like, okay, that's just unethical. Like, just please stop. Like, if you haven't done this, please don't scam somebody else into thinking that they can do this. It's just not right. So I am completely aligned.
Yeah. And the funny thing that you say that, when I had a mentor, I spent a lot of money, and I learned so many great things from her. I can't really say I've had a bad mentor. I've learned a lot of skills from a lot of different people, and then I just put what I like, right? And I had one, she said, well, you can call your mastermind skyrocket to six figures. And at that time, I was not at six figures. And I just did not feel right about that. I'm like, yeah, but that's not right. I don't agree with that, because how can I help someone get to six figures at that time when I hadn't even been there yet? Right. And so I see a lot of people promoting on Facebook, I can help you get 10K months. I can help you get six figures. And I think, have they really done it themselves? And that's a good question to ask when you hire someone. What are you making? And it's not wrong to ask people to show you the proof, because some people will sell anything online to get clients, and it's just not right. And it's going to come around. People will figure it out. It will come back around.
Yeah, it's a world. It's a weird world in the online space where people are just saying anything and doing anything. And I want to pull back or go back to what you said too about getting a program where you never get to actually work with the person. And that is something that I think so many people can resonate with, and how frustrating that is, because they buy this program because such and such is amazing. And I'm sure they are, but they'll never see them. They'll, maybe on a Zoom with 100 or 200 people is the only access they're actually going to get to that person. And the people that they actually interact with, or are going to look at their business or their situation or whatever, are, 3 levels removed, and someone who's making very little, who just learn to mimic stuff. And so I like how you've set yours up. We've set ours up the same. Our team is built on the administrative and sales side. When it comes to coaching our clients, they haven't built a 7-figure business. I can't hand over my clients and saying they're going to be able to help you effectively. They need really good expertise to reach the goals that they're looking for. So I think a lot of people have felt that similar frustration, because that's a big selling point for us, is that they actually work with us hands-on versus, 5 layers deep.
Yeah. And if they have never built a business before, sure, they can learn theory, but it's not the same as being in the trenches every day, because you learn so many things, right? When you're in the trenches every day, that you just can't teach that to people. You're getting real life experience, right, in your business when you're doing it. So, so it has to be that way with me. Like I really am so strong about that it has to be, only be ethical about it, teaching what I know and have results with, not just what I know. I've learned a lot of strategies. I have not mastered them all. I will not teach those strategies unless I have success and can teach people. And it's funny, I was chatting with someone the other day, and they said, oh, I can teach this. And I thought, well, if you haven't had results in that yet, is that really going to fly? Because part of your marketing is to show your results, right? I was able to achieve this, or I helped these people get that. And so where does that come in, right? How do you market it other than just trying to sell something?
Yeah. And people overcomplicate. Well, I can't do that. I've only done this or whatever. When Todd and I got started, we were really good at lead generation. Like, we weren't amazing at sales yet. We weren't amazing at all these other things, but we were really good at lead gen. So what were those first courses we created? They were lead generation courses, because how many people need help generating leads? Everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly how I started too. I knew that in order to grow a business, you need leads. You need fresh leads coming in. I learned that from the network marketing industry. It was always leads, leads, leads. In fact, I remember when I first got started, and one of my first mentors says, well, tell me some of the problems you've had growing your business. And I said, well, other than just trying to find people, I haven't really done all those tactics. Well, then I went on and tried them all. Like, oh my God, I tried them all. I was, cold friend, fake friending people, cold messaging strangers all day, like 100 people a day. I would get restricted. Like, I was like, okay, I'm all in. I'm going to do this. It was horrible strategy. I, went in and tried everything, literally tried everything. And I realized, wow, there's so many people that are doing all these things, and no wonder they're not having success. And the funny thing is, when I switched over to stop messaging people and I started using strategies I learned through attraction marketing, instead of chasing people, right? Trying to find people who might be interested and sifting and sorting so many people, right? On Facebook, in my profile, friends, in the DMs. I'll just put out a piece of marketing content here and there, and I will invite people to reach out to me. And that was so crazy to me because that was a huge shift. I went, oh my God, I don't have to do that stuff anymore. I can get people coming to me, raising their hands saying, hey, I want to know more about working with you, or hey, I want to know more if you can help me grow my group. And so that's when it really shifted for me, when I started learning not only lead generation and really mastering that, but also how to, grow a group, grow my email list, drive the right people into my group. Because I've had many people come to me and clients, and they have a group, some of them even with a big group, but it's dead. Like there's no engagement. That is like one of the biggest things. If you know how to grow your group might be dead. And how do you engage it? What do you post? Like people ask me all the time, I don't know what to do. And so I had to figure out all these things, because the courses that I took, I was kind of frustrated with them because they were missing a lot of pieces. They were only teaching lead generation. And although lead generation is so, so important, it is not the only thing for growing a group and having a profitable group, right?
Yeah.
You have to have it engaged. You have to have people who want to hang out, who want to comment, who, love your group, paying attention to you, while you nurture them. You're putting out content. You may be going live. I go live every Tuesday at noon Eastern in my group, and I provide a lot of value. I do posts for lead magnets and a lot of things to nurture them and warm them up so they get to see who I am, how I help people. And then, none of those courses taught how to convert them either. So you didn't know how to warm them up. You didn't know how to convert them. You just knew how to grow it and maybe set up some settings. And I went, wait a minute, there's pieces missing. And that's why I put together a program that was a 3-step program that taught all 3 steps, because of my frustration of what was out there. And I had to develop that and create that in my group. So that's how I ran it and continue to run it. And then I'm able to teach that to other people. And they're not missing pieces going, okay, now what do I do? What do I post? Or, okay, how do I get clients? Right? That's a big problem.
That's really important. So I love that you've solved all of these issues, because it's key. Like you have to grow it. Then you have to keep them engaged. You have to nurture them. And then you have to actually convert them into something, or what's the point of actually growing the group in the first place, right? So that's really important. What are some tips? Like, because we hear this all the time from folks as well. What are some tips you can give people if they have a group and it's just not that engaged? What are some things they can do?
So if it's not engaged, number one, who is in your group? Okay, who are the people in your group? I had a client come to me, and it was for women, and she had about 1,500 people in her group. And I went, wow, how did you grow it to that? That's amazing. This is on our first call. Here I find out 1,400 were men. I said, why are all these men in your group? Just didn't have a clue, right? She just didn't know. And she just put this thing together and let anybody in. Well, it was also public too. Her group was public, so you couldn't join. Anybody could come in. So all these men were joining, and I don't know why. It was for makeup, unless you're in the theater arts or you like makeup as male. But it was like, why are all these men here? So she cleaned it out, put it to private. Okay, so who is in your group? And I also say that about your profile, right? When you're accepting friend requests, are they your ideal client? Because often, when I was in network marketing, I had a lot of network marketing people as friends, and sure, I can help those people, but I don't want to have all these men as friends since I've decided to niche and work with women. So I don't want to accept a whole bunch of men, because I'm going to do posts. They will never connect. So if you have the wrong people in your group or on your profile, and you're putting out posts and you're getting ghosted, you may have the wrong people in there. So you need to look, who is it that's in your group? Are they interested in what you offer? So that's number one, right? That's a biggie, because it doesn't matter if you put all the wrong people in, they will never pay attention to anything that you try to promote and offer them. It just doesn't make sense to them, right? So clean it out if that's the case, or start from scratch if you need to. If you clean it out, rebrand it, your group should really be calling out who it's for. So when people find you, they say, oh, profitable women entrepreneurs, that's for me, right? And they join it. If it's like, some big name, nobody knows what you do and who it's for. Also, providing value in your group. Like, are you showing up in your group? Are people seeing you? Or are you just running it behind the scenes, right? Maybe you don't know what to post. Maybe you don't know what to do, but you need to let the people in your group know who you help and how you help them. So, for example, I help women generate leads and have a profitable Facebook group. And so I teach those strategies. I'll do posts about it, maybe 3 tips to, generate leads on Facebook, or, do a Facebook Live. Like, I committed, 2 years ago to go live every single Tuesday at noon Eastern to bring value to my audience. And I show up, and I will tell you, the first 6 months, nobody came on, right? My group was dead last January. 1,181 members, and it was dead. I had to revive it. And so I just kept showing up, providing value, and, people started paying attention and started watching. And then as I was building out my programs and courses behind the scenes, as I was growing my group, when they were ready, I put them out there, and people were already seasoned. They were already warmed up, and they would buy. And it just took off to a 6-figure business in less than a year. And I thought, oh my God, I struggled for 3 years trying to figure this out. Why couldn't someone just show me these 3 steps? It would have saved me a lot of time, and I would have made money a lot faster.
So with engagement, I second everything she just said. We obviously we have a group funnel or a group process as well for our business. And she's exactly on point with what she just said. I go live every Monday at 7 p.m. And I think 3 years now, I've missed 3 or 4 because of holidays or randomness, right? So that is super important. And what I've really seen, if you're doing all of those things right, plus you're adding new members regularly, because that's my first question to people when my group is dead. I'm like, okay, well, how many people have joined today? And they're like, well, none. Okay, you need fresh blood, because when those people join, they're going to do a little engagement, at least right off the bat, because they're snooping around. They're like, I just joined the group. Okay, what's in it, right? And so if you're giving good content, you're going in there and you're getting fresh people who engage, then Facebook's like, oh, this is good stuff. Let me start to send this to all of the old people who, haven't been participating or haven't been seeing the content. So absolutely, you're right on track. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to mention, because we were talking about size of the group, and I will tell you this: you do not need a big group. Okay, you can have a group of 2,000 highly engaged people who buy from you. In fact, I have a mentor that I worked with, and her group only had around 4,000 when I joined her, over a year ago, and she made over $1 million from her group. So you do not need a huge group. You need the right people, and you need to have really good systems that people go, oh my God, I need to join her. I need to buy her products and services, or sign up for this. And I'm telling you, the stuff she sells, she only has 10,000 Instagram followers too, not a huge following. And she just hit $2 million in 11 months this year. So the point is, you do not need a big group. You need to have an engaged group of the right people. So, because sometimes people get overwhelmed when I tell them I've grown my group to 42,000, and they're like, oh my God, that's going to take me this amount of time. And you can sell to those people as you're growing it. And you were bang on about bringing in fresh people all the time. We're bringing in 50 to 100 plus women a day into our group. And if you are not bringing in fresh people, because they say there's a life cycle of members in groups, and then they get bored or they find a new group. I mean, there's so many groups, right? I mean, I'm in probably hundreds. I don't know. And I have never been in a lot of them. And so people kind of move on and stuff like that. And so you need fresh people coming in all the time. And often it's the people that come in that are new will be the buyers, because they come in and they're excited, and then they see my live, and then I'm providing value, and then I promote something at the end, and they're like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. It really hit home for me. I want to join. And it's really that simple. But growing it by however many, it doesn't have to be 50 to 100 a day, right? It can be 10 or 5 or whatever, but you need to be bringing in fresh blood every single day. And the other thing I wanted to mention, you had said that, you go live every Monday. And there was a point when I got COVID and I was like, I just could not get in the shower, right? I wasn't that sick, but I didn't want to get in the shower and go live. But what I did is I scheduled out on StreamYard and one of my past lives, and it looked like I was live, and I did that for a few weeks. And I was not live. I was in bed sleeping when I went live. Okay. So it's a way that I found that I could still show up. And instead of saying, sorry, guys, I'm sick, I can't show up today, I was still able to put that out. And in fact, there was back in like June, I picked up another like bug. It might have been COVID too. And I did not go live for 2 months, but I went live every week in my group because of using StreamYard. So you can still show up without going live. And I know there's people go, oh my God, do I have to go live? I'm scared to go live. I don't know what to talk about. You can record it and then upload it in StreamYard and then stream it. And you can watch yourself or not, go shopping. And you're live and people think you're live. So it is a fantastic tip when I learned that. And I've had where my coach, she's been on group coaching calls and people go, wait a minute, you're live over here. And she goes, yeah, I scheduled that with StreamYard. I go, brilliant.
I think if you have a group and you are not going live at least once a week on a schedule with your group, you are missing a huge opportunity. That's where you connect. Live video in a group setting, you're going one to many, you're building that rapport, you're talking back and forth, you're getting, that's when they feel like they know you, right? You're really building that relationship. The hottest, we book calls from all different places and do a lot of different things, but the hottest leads, the ones that come with credit card in hand, are absolutely coming from from my Facebook group, and after they've just participated on a live video.
Yeah, and it makes sense because they see you as a person of authority because you're the leader of the group, right? So you get instant authority. And for me, because my group just took off, people started seeing, wow, she knows how to grow a group and fast because they can see it happening. They've been following the journey. And of course, I was posting in my group, we just hit 20,000. We just hit 25,000, right? So excited. And we did it in this amount of time. And people are really paying attention and they want to know how to do it because they were probably struggling like I was for 3 years and haven't figured it out. And they started raising their hand. Can you show me? What are you doing? Can you help me? And I ended up signing a lot of people. Most of them come from my group. I'd probably say 90%. Some of them come from my email list. And if people only really understood how much a Facebook group is really a gold mine. And so I really just put all my efforts there. And now I'm slowly starting to put myself out on other platforms, but I did not want to stretch myself thin and trying to learn Instagram, even though I was on there, I wasn't really on there, and try to learn all these other platforms because they're so different. And people kind of make that mistake too. They want to be everywhere and it sounds great, but if you're not profitable in one, why would you want to be everywhere? And now you're going to be trying to get all that content out and trying to figure out what to post and figure out how it's so different on Instagram and YouTube. I haven't even really done anything over there yet. There's just so many things, and you can make a lot of money just from your group and then start branching out if that's what you want to do. And again, you do not need a big group to do that. You need an engaged group of the right people.
So how do people get new members into their group organically? What are some tips?
Yes. So what I do, as I mentioned in the beginning, I use other people's audiences. Okay. So people build a Facebook group just like myself. There's other people building groups. So I went out and found groups that had my ideal clients that allowed me to promote in. So it's advertising in other people's groups, essentially. So you're not learning complicated Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff. You're just literally putting a simple post up in someone else's group. And the idea is to write a good post, and it takes practice. A lot of people quit way too soon. They'll write a post or two and say, this doesn't work, right? It does work. It takes practice. It takes time, like anything. Growing a group took me 4 years, right, to get to this point. It takes practice and fine tuning. And so I found out groups that had women entrepreneurs, my ideal clients. And so I had some lead magnets that I created. And I go, this is a great way to grow my email list, get people off of Facebook and get them into my email list. And then I'll drive them to my group. And so I would create a post like, I have a free guide, free PDF guide teaching 50 ways to grow your Facebook group fast. Who wants a copy? Really simple post, telling people what it is, the big result. Big numbers are really helpful, right? 50 instead of 5. And then a call to action. And then people start saying me, right? In the comment section. And you just go back in and you give them the link to your lead magnet and they sign up, right? And then in the email, you drive them to your group. But if you don't have any lead magnets, that's okay. Because I have clients that come to me and they're like, some of them are starting from scratch and they don't even have a lead magnet. And so you can invite people directly to your group, right? You can do a post, invite them directly to your group. You tell them the benefit of why they should join your group, or you call out who exactly it's for. So let's say my group is for women entrepreneurs, not so specific, niche down, but it's mainly for coaches, course creators, right? But if I had a group specifically for coaches and course creators, then I would call out that audience. I have a group for coaches and course creators where you learn how to generate leads and make sales. Who wants an invite? And then you just simply invite them to your group, right? You go in and give them the link to your group. And so I used to spend time doing those comments. And then as I refined my systems, I hired a VA from the Philippines who essentially was in my group. I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I hired someone from my own group? And Philippines is very affordable, right? And she goes in and gives them the link to the lead magnet or goes in and invites them to my group. So I don't have to spend the time doing those mundane things that I don't really want to do. But it's so important because the most important thing that I do every single day, and I do not fail, is, and it's consistent, is driving people to my group or my email list. And so I spend about 30 minutes every morning, even before this. It is without fail because that is the most important thing in my business is the lead generation, driving those people in so I have fresh people to promote to.
So what tips do you have on how to find groups that allow you to promote? Because I know that's a challenge for folks oftentimes.
That's a great question. So if you get into some of the women entrepreneur groups, if you search in the search bar, groups to promote in or promo groups, there will be people who offer that as a lead magnet. So they'll say, I have a free spreadsheet that has 50 groups you can promote in. Who wants it? And people go, me, and they go crazy, right? Now they're growing their email list, right? They're giving people this list and you just go through the list and you join the groups, okay? You check them out, make sure it's your ideal people, check the vibe, and then see if, you can promote. You need to check the group rules. Okay. A lot of people don't check the group rules. Even when they come to my group, I don't think they even think about it. But you need to check the group rules to see if they allow promo. In some groups, the smaller groups will allow promo every day. Some of them will say you can promote every day, but no links. You can promote every, Tuesday and Friday. Like you need to check the rules, or you need an engagement post with every promo post. Right? Or you need to engage in the community, or you need to do an intro post first, right? There's a lot of things in the rules. So you just check them and you put a little note beside it. And then once you've done that, it's easy because you just like in the morning, boom, copy, paste. I literally put the same post in every group that day. Not every day, the same post every day in the same groups, but that one post goes to all those groups that day. And then the next day I do a different post. Promote a different lead magnet or a different offer or something like that. And you don't want to just go in a group and try to sell, okay? Because this is a cold audience. They don't know you, right? And I've been around for a little while. Some of these people are starting to know me, but I still don't directly sell in other people's groups. Remember, the goal is get them from other people's groups. You're borrowing their audience and get them into your world, your group, your email list, right? And then you warm them up. and then you promote. And it doesn't have to be a long process, right? Like I was talking about, some people come in and they come in on Monday, they show up on my live on Tuesday, they hear my training, and then they join. And it can be that fast. And some people need to be nurtured longer, or the timing's not right for them.
But groups are great for that too. Like, how many times have you had a client who ended up purchasing, but they were in your group for 6 months, 8 months, a year, and initially their timing wasn't right. Like they had a financial issue, or they didn't have time to put forward, or whatever. Life was busy, but they kept seeing. I've literally had the conversation. Well, I kept seeing your notifications for your lives, and I was like, she's still at it. She's so consistent, right? And then, eventually when timing was right, when things were aligned for them, where do they go? They go where they've gotten all the value and built that relationship through that group. So this is a gold mine for everyone who has, I hope re-listen to this, rewatch this, and take notes on exactly what she just said, because this is masterful. Do you have a spreadsheet then of your groups and days of the week and all that stuff?
Yes. So I organized it mine's just on a Google Doc, just the groups that I'm currently promoting in. And you want to reevaluate those groups. Okay. So if you're promoting in a group and they allow daily promo, but you're not getting any traction on your posts, and give it some time, not, a couple days, but I'll give it a couple months. And if they're not working, then it's time to move on to a different, take that group off my list, because the group is dead, right? And so I don't want to spend my time posting in groups if I'm not going to get leads, right? And get people to comment and get engagement. That if I'm not getting engagement on my posts, then probably hardly anybody's seeing it, because engagement is king. The more comments you get on your post, the more Facebook's going to push your post out to more people. So you want to get really, really good at writing posts and getting people to comment, because then Facebook, if someone posts in my group, for example, I have 42,000 members, it doesn't go out to 42,000 members, right? It goes out to the small group of engaged members first. Facebook wants to say, let's see if they like this post first. They're the most engaged. And if they start commenting and it starts taking off, then Facebook will push it out to a few more, another group of members. It still doesn't go out to 42,000. And so on and so on. So the more comments, and that's why when you put a call to action, you don't want to just put the link in the post, right?
Right. That's the kiss of death. Don't do that.
Nobody's going to comment, right? And they're going to click off. And a lot of groups won't even allow that anyway. It doesn't benefit you, even though you think it's the easy way. They can just click, or they can just DM me, right? If you just tell people to DM you, again, nobody's going to comment. So you want...
And then no one will see it.
Exactly. So you want people to comment below. And when each person comments, don't rush back to that post and start, here's a link. Some people go, oh my God, someone commented, I got to do it right away. Let it simmer a bit and see as more people comment. And if it's not really moving, then go in and comment a couple back with the link, and then so on, and let it ride. Now, if a post explodes, then maybe go in and do 10 people, with the link, but don't do them all. Right? Because that puts more engagement on the post. Every time you comment with the link, or a comment, I'll DM you the link, whatever you say, it's putting more engagement on your post. And a lot of people make that mistake. They just are in a hurry. They're lazy. They don't know any better, maybe, which is probably most likely the way. And they scratch their head going, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And I can tell you, if I could grow my group to 42,000, grow my email list to 15,000, it was more than that, I cleaned my list, and turn my group into 6-figure business, posting in other people's groups absolutely works. There are also groups where you can pay to promote in their group. Okay. So I have signed up for some of those groups too. So I promote in free groups and I promote in paid groups. And for a paid group, I want to make sure it's an engaged group. And I look at what people are posting, see if it's engaged, if it's worth it. I look at the price. I look at how many times I can promote. So some groups, it's only once a week. So your post better be darn good, right? Because if it's a flop, you didn't get anything, right? And you want to make sure that, for me, I like daily posting. And so that was one of the first ways I monetized my Facebook group. So by June, we had 12,000 members. And I went, oh my God, I think I'm going to turn my group where people can pay to promote in my group, because I'm paying to promote in other people's groups. And I think it's a fantastic strategy. And so I turned my group into a promo membership as well. So people can pay to promote in my group in front of the audience that I build to 42,000. That is a big audience, but also that I still dedicate to promote. I didn't stop growing it and go, oh, I'm going to have a membership. No, I continue to grow it for not only for my own business, but for all the paid members who are in my group. And we have people that are doing posts in my own group and getting tons of leads, filling out their challenges, selling out offers, inviting people to their group, freebies, you name it. And it is probably one of the best strategies I ever learned was promoting in people's Facebook groups and then turning my group into a promo membership. That was my first real steady income that was coming in, because it's reoccurring every month. People are paying every month. So it's a membership, right? You're getting paid every single month on the same people. And then, of course, you have new people coming in. That was huge for me. And I thought, this is the best strategy I ever learned, was running a Facebook group, learning how to grow it the right way, promoting in other people's groups, driving their audience into my world, providing value, and then promoting my offers, and now teaching it to other people. I've been teaching it since over a year. Over a year I've been teaching it now.
I love this. I've done paid memberships on and off. I'm back in one of those, and it's a once a week. So it's like it's challenging, because some weeks the exact same post will take off because it just hit people at the right moment, versus other weeks you're like, I got no comments and I gotta wait 7 days.
That cost me $25 for one post, right?
And you're like, oh, this stinks. But I love it. And I've seen those posts where people have said, comment, and I'll give you a list of groups that you can promote in. So this is chock full of gold nuggets. And I love how you're doing this. I've told so many people who've got just kind of cool businesses that they're working with, or a unique target audience. I'm like, so you serve small businesses. Awesome. Well, build a community for small businesses in general, where you're going to be the go-to person for health insurance, or like whatever their thing is. But then as it grows, allow other people who don't, directly compete to have their membership. They're able to go in there and promote and share, because that would be an additional stream of revenue. So I love that you've actually done that. Yay. That is so cool.
And you mentioned, different niches too. So, mine's for women entrepreneurs, but it does work for different niches. I've had some clients in completely different niches than me. So one was in credit repair business. She built a group, taught her how to find her ideal clients on Facebook. So she wouldn't just do a random post in entrepreneur groups, because there's probably not that many people that are going to raise their hand and go, yeah, I need my credit repaired, right? So, and so I had another woman who had a high ticket offer, and she had a tiny group, and she helped women who were in a toxic relationship, but now they're out of it. And so she helped them not repeat those habits and strategies, to find somebody else and all that. But she didn't want them already still in it. Like, that was so important, because she didn't want to deal with people who were dealing with the drama, right? And so very picky who she let in. Like, if they had a profile picture of a man and a woman together, she didn't let them in. Like, so when you really fine tune your audience, right, you're going to get the right people in. And she was very picky. And now I think she's probably got like 1,700 in her group. And she has a high ticket offer. I think it's like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And it's like 1-to-1. But she has her full of her ideal clients, right? And it's a safe community for women who have been out of a toxic relationship. So she had to find them and bring them in, find groups that had divorced women, for example, and then, kind of nurture, because those groups don't allow you to promote it, right? So that's a key point, because not every group's going to allow you to promote him. So you want to, if you are allowed to do posts or comment on posts, and then kind of build connection and then friend them. So it's a little different than doing a post and having them all come to you, But when you're super niche down, you have to have a different strategy. But the key is to get the right people in. And that's essentially what she did.
So what do you feel like what's coming down the pipeline? Like, what's your next phase for you?
So since I've mastered groups and organic marketing, I'm still doing that, right? Still going to keep nurturing and growing that. And teaching that. And I've just ventured over to Instagram. So I am doing reels and building that audience. My goal is I'm putting together some low ticket offers and I'm going to run ads to it. So that's my next big thing. I want to, and then drive people into my signature offer. So that's my main goal, to have, I call it, more lines in the water to fill my signature program, because, you can do so much in your group. And then I feel like, I'm going to keep nurturing it and keep growing it. I feel like I did pretty well in my first year, under, 6 figures in less than a year, but now I really want to scale that, and I'll keep, using my group for that. But I'm venturing to Instagram, building an audience there, doing reels, and putting together a low ticket offer. And I will advertise those, in the call to action on Instagram on my reels, and then run ads to, I'm building out kind of an elaborate funnel right now. It's a big project.
Sounds like
for me. And I'll be running ads to that. So that's my next big thing. I'm really excited about it because it's challenging and it's new and it's hair pulling and all those things, right? But it's always so rewarding when you overcome it and it's like, oh my God, it's working, right? So that'll be the next thing, to get it, make sure it's working.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I would encourage you, if you're going to take the time to create short form vertical video, so reels, right? Send it everywhere. Like, put it up on Facebook, put it up on TikTok, put it up on YouTube. Not that you're necessarily doing extra work, you're just posting it in multiple places.
Yes.
Because I've seen my content, Instagram hasn't gone so well. TikTok, I'm kind of stuck in the 200 to 300 range, but Facebook will pop, and YouTube really pops. And so even though I might find things and trends and different things on TikTok, it dies there, but it does really well in other places, and I would never know if I wasn't just sending it and seeing what really hits.
Yeah, I haven't ventured to YouTube. I really want to, because it stays there forever, right? It's not like, Facebook, it disappears and stuff. But, like, when you're starting out, right? When you're first starting out, people that are listening are probably going, oh my God, there's just so many things. And it is. And that's why I just focused on Facebook groups, like one thing at a time, and get it profitable. Then, start branching out to other areas.
So if people want to learn more about you, they know they need help with their group, or they want to get into the group strategy, how do they connect with you?
So I'm on Facebook, of course, and you can join my group, Profitable Women Entrepreneurs, and you can always DM me. I'm very active in the DMs. I do check my other folders. If we're not friends, I will find it. And I also put together a free guide that covers my 3 pillars. You can get that at julievance.com/3 pillars, PILLARS. So julievance.com/3 pillars. It will cover more detail, how I grew a profitable business in 3 simple steps. And that's my free gift to you.
I think this is going to be life-changing for a lot of people. So thank you so much for everything you shared today. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
You've been listening to the Digital Trailblazer podcast. For show notes and information about today's guest, head to digitaltrailblazer.com. Now, if you love this episode, if you got some value, make sure you leave us a review and subscribe. And be sure to share this episode with anyone you know who could use help to build their business. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.